So one of the popular things, particularly on online platforms, is to buy stuff that helps other people than yourself. That is, doing business with a company that uses its profits to go off and do good. Would you believe that one of those companies comes from here in Colorado? Danny
Bristo.
No, it's Bistroud.
It is Bristo. I was mistaken.
You have been wrong your whole life. You run the Free Human Being Project. I didn't know we needed a project for free human beings. I just kind of thought they were. Real fast, Free Human Being Project is what?
The Free Human Being Project is a clothing brand that I started in May, and we take some of our proceeds and we donate that to small businesses
Who are being
kept shut down by the lockdown.
Got it. All right, let's talk about this. I want to first pull out, you've been in the apparel business for a long time, right? This is what you do. You make specialty apparel and then you sell it to guys. As an old rock and roll guy, I would call it merch, or what we used to call swag. You actually produce the swag for other people to sell. Is that the right way to put it?
We do.
Anybody I would know?
Most likely not. There's a lot of gamers in the community that we work with. Yeah.
This is weird for me. I understand you go to a Led Zeppelin show, you want to buy the Led Zeppelin t-shirt, but now there are like YouTube gamers who have their own fan base and they sell t-shirts just like the Rolling Stones do. Do I have that right?
Correct. I would consider this like the new famous.
The new famous.
It's like a sports team.
Oh my God.
You want to buy a jersey from a player from your favorite sports team? This is the exact same thing.
I'm getting old, so old. I don't understand any of this, but I'll accept it. So after the lockdown, you guys were affected because you weren't supposed to do business, right?
Correct.
Did you stop doing business?
I did not.
You broke the law?
It was not a law.
It was not a law.
Well,
it was legal.
Well, it was a mandate.
Right.
It was a suggestion. I read the first executive order that came out. And there were a couple of parts in there that clearly stated all non-essential businesses need to shut down unless you need to protect your assets. And then there was another section in there talking about protecting your home, your property, your family. So I chose to highlight those areas, print that off, put that in my car, and use that as my paperwork when I was going back and forth to work.
Doing your business.
Doing my business.
What gave you the idea to then build a secondary business doing the same sort of thing, but politically motivated?
Because I was seeing other businesses not doing what I was doing. They were shutting down. They were staying closed. They weren't allowed to be open. So they thought. So I started to think to myself, do these people even know what's in these orders? Are they looking at these? Are they reading them?
Did you take any sort of PPP money, or what do they call it?
I did not.
Nope. No
handout.
No paycheck protection money.
No.
None of it.
None of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you employ what, like 50,000 people at your factory?
We do.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
Is it a big company or is
it's not?
It's a small.
We're a small company.
All right. But those are the companies that really get hit by shutdowns. During that shutdown, were you able to keep things going, make payroll, et cetera?
We were, but we had to cut back. Sales dropped almost instantly once these lockdowns started happening across the country. We have a small staff, so half of us were working at the warehouse. The other half were working from home. And when I say half, that's only 4 of us. So we did have to cut hours. A couple of people stayed home. A couple of us kept working at the warehouse.
When did you start doing this?
I started doing this in May, the beginning of May.
And tell me what I can buy when I go to freehumanbeingproject.com. Because you sell stuff. You're still selling merch.
We're still selling merch.
I'd like a Rolling Stones shirt.
We do not sell that merch.
A Who shirt.
We do not sell that.
Star Trek shirt.
I wish.
Then what can I get?
You can get Free Human Being Project shirts. So you can get Free Human Being, just like I'm wearing right now. We have some, well, you can't see the back of this, but it has the First Amendment on it. So we have some First Amendment shirts, Second Amendment shirts, Ninth Amendment shirts. And then we have shirts like Not My New Normal, Love Your Sisters and Brothers, not tracer friendly.
So in other words, you're putting out freedom shirts. You're putting out.
I'm putting
You're
out
putting
freedom
out political shirts, T-shirts, statement shirts.
Statement shirts.
Wear it with pride.
Definitely.
Business.
It's been really good.
Really?
We've had a lot of good support.
All right. But the key, the special sauce in this, if I understand it right, it's not just cool shirts with great slogans on it, but you're taking a percentage of what you make to give away. How much percentage?
25%.
25%
Of every item sold.
every item sold, off the
Yep.
top.
Off the top.
Talking about gross.
Correct.
So buy a $10 T-shirt, $250 is going into, you're giving it away.
You got it.
That's a big cut. I don't know if you know that. That's a big cut.
It is a big cut.
Just to be clear, you're still making money.
We are.
All right, you are personally making money off of this.
Correct.
Okay. You feel bad about that?
I do not.
Why not?
It's a part of our cycle of life that we live in currently right now in the United States. Right? We have to go to work. We need to earn money, earn capital to spend on bills to live here.
I'd go even a little further and say that you take risk. You take risk when you build this company. You take risk when you put out your capital. You take risk to do this. In order to do that, you do it on the basis that you will be rewarded for that risk. And oh, by the way, you'll only be rewarded if you satisfy a need or desire out there from other people through a voluntary exchange. It be a beautiful thing. All right, I get that. So you get this pile of money afterwards, 25%. And is there a formula who you give it to? You haven't given me any of that money. I'd really like some, or at least a T-shirt.
I brought you a T-shirt.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, I'm
You've
touched.
already been rewarded.
I need nothing else. How do you decide who gets the money that you're raising?
Well, the first place, they were already in the news. It was a local restaurant to Castle Rock here in Colorado. And I loved that they were standing up for their rights, wanted to continue to stay open. They were financially being hurt by the lockdown.
I'm assuming this famed
CNC Coffee and Kitchen.
CNC and Coffee,
Yep.
which got shut down by the state
They did.
because free association is not allowed at their coffee shop.
Correct.
They decided to stay open. They got closed down.
They did. They opened up on Mother's Day. I went to see them open up, loved what they were doing, met the owner. And then a few weeks after that, we launched this project. They have a second branch down in the Springs, and that's the place that we went and donated to.
Really? So you came there and you gave them a check for $1 million because you only do it in millions, right?
We only do it in millions.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that
All right, so you
amazing?
give your first $1 million to these. Who else have you given money to?
Barbara Ellis Studio of Dance in Colorado Springs.
Really?
Yeah,
It sounds awful artsy.
it is artsy.
Why them?
It's close to home. It's a small business. They've been around for 60 years. One of my daughters danced there for 15 years.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. And they
Were they closed?
They were closed for a few months.
Did they try to reopen? Did they open up illegally?
They did not. They waited until you could slowly start to have some kids into the come back in.
They needed help.
They needed it.
All right. Anybody else?
Western Omelet 3 out in Callahan. They were also in the
Oh,
news.
that's right. That was a Callahan restaurant that, very much like CNC Coffee, decided to stay open, and
Yes.
then the man came and said, "No, you
can't."
You can't."
But what's really cool about them, they had the entire town was behind them. The day they reopened, they had a liquor store reopen. Somebody came out to take the liquor license from that liquor store, and the local sheriff, local police officers were there and asked them to leave the property.
Asked you to leave.
Whoever came out to take their liquor license asked them to leave the property that they were going to go ahead and open up.
Wait. So
That's what I heard.
So the state came to take their liquor license.
Yeah.
And the sheriff said, "You leave them alone."
Yep.
Did they stay in business?
And they're still open.
Oh, that is so awesome.
It is awesome. And the whole town was behind it. And everybody's been back up and running since that day.
Are people requesting money from you, or are you just, since
No.
it's your money, you're saying, these are good guys, these are good guys, these
Yeah,
guys have been
nobody's
screwed.
requesting money from us, but I do have Facebook page, like a group page that we have up, and I've been asking the members of that group, who do you think our next donation should go to? And then we've been gathering some of their information and suggestions, and we'll go from there.
Let's talk a little bit about the ideology behind this. One, I don't think my team, the people who do believe in individual rights and that we are sovereign people and get to have all the rights of any other country, including to have free associations, I don't think we're good at messaging. We're just not good at getting our point across. So shirts like this beg questions. People come up and go, what do you mean free human being? And then you get to show what kind of jerk you are by saying, I'm a human being, you can't tell me what to do. And they say, you're killing people, and I'm not killing. And then it devolves into that.
Yeah.
How do you decide on the messaging? And why does it matter?
Really, the messaging for myself at first, it was personal, right? What's happening in my life? How is it affecting me? How is it affecting the people around me? Regardless if we agree on these issues or not. If I'm a free human being and I have a right to my own ideas, my own ideals, and what I think is right for me to stand up for, as long as I'm not hurting other people. And like you said, somebody might say, well, you are hurting other people. You're killing grandma right now for standing up for your rights. We're gonna have to engage in a conversation then. We're gonna have to try to find some common ground that we stand on.
Yeah, I think the common ground boils down to, as one of my friends says, don't hurt people and take their stuff. That's the basic human agreement. Don't hurt people and take their stuff. You know, there's nothing that says that you have to go to that restaurant. There's nothing that says you have to go and buy that shirt. Those of us who believe that human beings have an inalienable right to decide with whom they have a relationship, it's a freedom that is guaranteed, and that doesn't go away because there's a bad strain of a flu. Even if it's a deadly strain of a flu, we still have those rights. And it's hard because people get so impassioned by this. I know people who lose their marbles because you want to go to the restaurant or you want your kid to go back to school. And we're not saying that you need to bring your kid back to school. I'm saying I want to bring my kid back to school because I'm a free human being and I should be able to make those choices. If not, give me the money that I'm spending on school and let them go someplace else.
Right.
Does this make a difference? How does it make a difference?
I think it's already made a difference. It's made a difference in members on Facebook that I've been talking to. They feel that they now have a place that they can maybe communicate some of these feelings or issues or thoughts and ideas that they're having. I've definitely made a difference in, a few different owners' lives. And even though it's a small check that we give them, they appreciate it. It's thoughtful and it's kind. And you can see that.
Let me wrap it up with this. What I love about the Free Human Being Project is that it does everything progressives claim they do. It is thinking globally, but acting locally. It is helping people. It is taking the part of the profit, a huge part of the profit, and plowing it back into your local community. My God, if you weren't a capitalist, if you didn't believe in individual rights, you'd be able to go right out there on your farmer's market and drive your Prius with all the rest of them.
Right.
You have taken their operating book and turned it towards individualism. That's really cool. I hope more people do what you do. People want to get involved, people want to buy a t-shirt, people want to help out. Where do they go?
TheFreeHumanBeingProject.com.
Free Human Being, is it The Free Human Being?
TheFreeHumanBeingProject.com, or they can go to TFHBP.com.
And on Facebook?
And on Facebook, it's the Free Human Being Project group page. And then we have TFHBP, which is the business page.
Awesome. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I hope you sell a lot of shirts, and I hope you help out a lot of these businesses.
So do
Danny, thanks for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed that conversation, by all means, click one of these other great programs. We have the best conversations with the most fascinating Coloradans. And subscribe to our channel. Just click down below and hit that little bell button too. You don't want to miss a single show.